Browns fans? Now, let's talk about the big news that nearly shook up the AFC North. Before we jump into today's exclusive, be sure to hit the like button to stay up to date with all the latest news and rumors. You won't want to miss a thing as we head into what is sure to be an exciting season. The Cleveland Browns were very close to making a game-changing move that would have seriously thrown a wrench in the Pittsburgh Steelers' trade plans. Yes, you heard right, our Browns were after Brandon Ayuk, and they were doing everything they could to get him. Earlier this week, the Browns made a big move by converting Deshaun Watson's contract into a signing bonus, freeing up over $35 million in salary cap space. When this news broke, speculation began to fly. What was Cleveland planning to do with all that extra money? Well, it looks like the rumors were right. The Browns were preparing to make an even bigger offer to Ayuk, who had already turned down a trade earlier this summer. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, who dropped this bombshell on the Pat McAfee show, the Browns offered Ayuk more money than the Steelers and 49ers. Let that sink in for a moment. Cleveland was prepared to outbid Ayuk to bring him to our team, offering him a prime spot in a star-studded offense. Imagine Ayuk lining up next to Amari Cooper, giving Watson another elite target to help him bounce back this season. It could have been a game changer. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the Browns' best efforts, Ayuk decided to stay in San Francisco. He chose to remain with the 49ers, signing a 4-year extension that keeps him out of the AFC North. So while the Steelers may be disappointed that they didn't sign him, they're probably relieved that he didn't end up in Cleveland, where they'd have to face him twice a year. Now, what does this mean for the Browns going forward? Well, it shows that the front office is serious about upgrading the roster and giving Watson the weapons he needs to succeed. Even if they didn't sign Ayuk, you can bet that they'll be looking at other big-name wide receivers. The competition between the Browns and Steelers isn't over, and both teams could still be in the market for a top-tier wideout. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Are you excited about the possibility of Ayuk joining the team? Or are you relieved that he's staying in the NFC? And who do you think the Browns should target next? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Our star cornerback, Denzel Ward, is making a big change heading into the 2024 season, and it's all about his health and longevity on the field. As many of you know, Ward has had a tough time with concussions, 5 in his NFL career thus far, with the latest occurring during training camp this year. This is a serious concern, not only for his career, but for his long-term well-being. Now, here's the update. Ward has decided to switch to a new helmet designed to offer him more protection. This change is a crucial step in decreasing the risk of another concussion, which could have a significant impact on his playing career. Despite this change, Ward has made it clear that he has no plans to tone down his aggressive style of play. As he told Tom Withers of the Associated Press, "I can't let receivers get away with it that easily in this league." That's the kind of tenacity we love to see from our Pro Bowl cornerback. But let's face it, Browns fans, 5 concussions in 6 seasons is no joke. It's the kind of story that can cut a player's career short or lead to serious problems down the road. That's why this move is so important. The Browns need Ward healthy, not just for next season, but for many seasons to come. He's a cornerstone of our defense, and his presence on the field is crucial to our success. Let's not forget how vital Ward is to our defense. Last season, he played in 13 games, racking up 34 tackles, forcing a fumble, grabbing 2 interceptions, and defending 11 passes. And if you look ahead to 2022, those numbers only get better. 53 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 15 passes defended. There's no doubt that Ward is a game changer when he's on the field. Looking ahead, the Browns are expected to have one of the best defenses in the league, possibly the best. To live up to that hype, we need Ward at his best, blocking receivers and making those game-changing plays we've come to expect from him. The new helmet is a smart move, and we all hope it will be key to keeping him concussion-free this season. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Are you confident this new helmet will keep Ward safe on the field? How crucial do you think it is to our defense's success this season? As we approach the 2024 season, the Cleveland Browns have their final 53-man roster set. But there's one glaring question mark. Who exactly will be returning kicks and punts for us this season? Right now, the Browns have pretty much every position covered, from starters to backups. But when you take a closer look at the depth chart, there's one area that's still up in the air: the return game. Both the punt returner and kickoff returner slots are, well, a bit of a mystery right now. And that's a bit of a concern as the season approaches. Let's start with kickoff returns. Right now, Pierre Strong is penciled in for that role. Strong has impressive speed, clocking it at 4.37 in the 40-yard dash. But here's the thing. He only had 8 kickoff returns last year. So why is he suddenly the go-to guy? And remember, we've only got 3 running backs on the roster. Putting one of them in a position where they're likely to take some hard hits, especially given our track record with running back injuries, seems risky, right? Backing up Strong, we've got Jerome Ford. Ford had a solid rookie season returning kickoffs, with 30 returns for 723 yards, averaging 24.1 yards per return. But here's the kicker. Ford is also our likely starting running back until Nick Chubb makes his return. So why would we risk our starting running back on special teams? It's a question that's worth asking. Now, moving on to punt returns. This is where things get even murkier. Right now, we don't even have a punt returner listed on the depth chart. Is this a new strategy where we just hope our opponents never punt the ball? Of course not. But seriously, why isn't there someone officially slotted for this role? Well, part of the issue is that our coaching staff cut most of the players who were handling punt returns in camp. Let's break down who's still in the mix. During training camp, the punt return duties were shared between Marion Brown, Jaylon Darden, and James Proche. Out of these three, Proche has the most experience, with 49 punt returns and 3 kickoff returns under his belt since entering the league in 2020. He's got decent stats, an average of 8.6 yards per punt return and 13.7 yards per kickoff return, but nothing that really blows you away. Darden's resume is a bit better. He joined the league in 2021 and has 56 punt returns with an average of 9.4 yards per return. He's also returned 23 kickoffs, averaging 20.3 yards. Not bad, but again, not standout numbers. Then there's Brown, who hasn't done much in terms of returning kicks since his college days. His experience is pretty limited, and his stats don't exactly inspire confidence. So, do any of these guys really stand out as the solution to our return game woes? Looking at the preseason, Darden had the most impressive kickoff return stats, with 6 returns for 170 yards, averaging 28.3 yards per return. Proche, on the other hand, only had 1 kickoff return for 23 yards. When it came to punt returns, neither Proche nor Darden really lit it up, with averages of 8.0 and 5.75 yards per return, respectively. This lack of production in the return game is a real concern as we head into the new season. What's made things even more complicated is the injury situation. Nyheim Hines, who was supposed to be our main guy for both punt and kickoff returns, is still on the NFI list with no clear timetable for his return. Hines was brought in during the offseason, but he's been dealing with an ACL injury from a jet ski accident and hasn't practiced much, let alone played in a preseason game. So, what's the plan here? One possibility is that the coaching staff is looking at using the practice squad rules to their advantage. Both Proche and Darden have been re-signed to the practice squad, and with the new rules, they can be elevated to the active roster for up to 3 games during the regular season. This could give the Browns some flexibility while Hines continues his recovery. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Are you worried about our early season homecoming game? Who do you think should be handling those duties? And before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!